Hello. Hello. I'm back. It's time for the podcast. This will be pretty fun. We got a pretty quiet podcast today. Probably more of like a what's a good word for it? Maybe like a direct with like a little bit of podcast after, if you want to call it that, but it'll still be under the podcast label nonetheless. But yeah, there's some interesting things to talk about today, to say the least. So, look forward to it. I'm gonna hop in. We have a couple of friends today. We have, joining us on the mic will be Kirby J, our lovely server owner, who, you know, appears from time to time to let us know how things are going on his end, you know, as he's working neck deep in his various projects. And then we have Jam as well, who honestly is like the pseudo-owner of the server because he pretty much takes care of everything since Kirby is always so busy. So, yeah, it'll be good to have him on too. He's kind of just here for the ride. We originally were going to have Hello on, who's a older AOS 2 lad, but unfortunately, due to his work schedule not allowing him the time off, he will not be joining us. So Kirby will be making some announcements without him, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna hop in. Oh yeah, we also have Glitch, who will be muted off the mic, to talk to us about their performance in the tournament, which is pretty cool. So, I'm gonna get on in there and see what's hip and happening. Hello? Your people here?
I'm here. I don't know if Kirby J's here.
What's up, guys?
Hey, there he is. I think I gotta turn you up a little bit. Can you keep talking, Kirby?
Yeah, I'm here. Alive. Somewhat.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna put you up to 200, honestly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little quiet today, actually.
That's alright. A little low energy. I know you're sick still, so, you know, take it easy. I appreciate you still coming here to talk to us, you know, regardless of how you're feeling. Very nice of you. Let me get this up. Is this working? Oh, it's misaligned! Oh no! It's okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. I also, Kirby, I forgot to get those logo thingies, by the way.
That's fine. It's I'm
okay.
gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I'll get it when you talk about it. But I don't know what order you want to do things in, Kirby. I don't know if you want me to go first. I don't know if you want to go first. But first I want to talk to Glitch, because Glitch kind of just won pretty big tourney for the first time. It's a pretty big deal. Yeah. I mean, I would have loved to talk to Fush regardless as well.
You can bring Fush on here. I mean, I don't see an issue with that if you want to bring Fush.
If she wants to. It's pretty late for her though, so you know, I don't mind.
Yeah, I think she's just gonna chill.
I think she might already be gone, honestly. But so yeah, this should be pretty neat. Hello, Glitch. Glitch is gonna be in Twitch chat talking to us. So I'm curious. I guess to start off with, is this just like a? Did you expect to have anything even close to this happen today? Or, like, did you really have any sort of expectation for how the tournament would go, I suppose? Yeah, this thing is not cooperating with me. You're second or third, not first. Okay. Wow, okay. This overlay. It's so right tiny now, man! Whatever. The weirdos can be small.
Little small, little weirdos.
That's very interesting, but I am curious, like, has there been anything in particular that you've been doing to prepare? Has it just been, like, playing a lot? I mean, I assume it's probably, you know, just lots of playing and all that good stuff. But I'm just curious if there's any sort of like preparation that you did for today.
Glitch is a weirdo. It's not nice, Hispanic.
I mean, Hispanic's a weirdo too, so, you know, it is what it is out here. Practice a good amount versus Kekko's Mira. That's very interesting. I suppose, I mean, I feel like there isn't really a Mira out there, like Fush, but, oh, well, yeah, I mean, excuse me, that's a very valid thing to practice, actually, you know, because I feel like that's a big part of fighting Mira, right, is, like, I kind of talked about it earlier, very briefly, but, basically, like, staying within this zone of Mira where, you kind of have to, like, be close enough that you can get in and, reaction half-shield stuff, but also be able to respect most of, like, the moves that they have, you know? Practice way more Sumika Mira than Hime Mira? Yeah, you definitely went, what's it called? You definitely went really hard with the Hime today, I noticed. Is that like a thing that you're planning for long term? I mean, I know you play so many characters as it is. We saw you play, I think, Nath at one point. The Kyoko came out, the Sumika came out, the Hime came out. I don't know if you played any other characters today, but there certainly is quite a bit of variety. Is that just kind of like a thing that you have just like decided, like, I'm just gonna play, you know, all sorts of characters, or is that something that you kind of want to like calm down on? Like, I mean, if possible, would you play less characters, or are you enjoying having to play so many characters, I guess? Ones I want to practice the most. Interesting. Trying to think of what else I want to ask. What are you planning to do with the prize? What plush are you gonna get? That's the question everyone wants to know. You're gonna buy a game?
You get 2 prizes, right? I'm like not even paying 100%.
Yeah. Glitch is gonna be getting $50 and an OJ plushie. Pretty neat. Haven't decided on the plushie yet. That's cool. I mean, you got some good options. You could always get a Hime one. Hime's one of the options. I mean, I think it would be fair given that Hime was a pretty big portion of your wins today, towards you know, the final stretch.
You get a Starbreaker plush. On a spike.
Get a Starbreaker plush for all the Starbreakers you absolutely annihilated today.
It's not cool.
Yeah, that was quite the bracket run. I was like, damn, like beat Golf like into
Beat Golf twice.
Into Lacera. Yeah. Beat Golf into Lacera into Fudge all in a row. Like,
yeah,
damn,
I mean,
that was really good.
Regardless of the matchup, Golf is a tough cookie. It's not easy to beat him. So. Oh, my cookie.
Paulo, can you send me the playlist you have? Because I have the stream muted, and I want to hear whatever you're playing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a bit random.
Okay. Here you go.
Thank
The
you.
Nanako J.
What happened?
I like the Nanako J. It looks like she's like making a circle with her hand. I never
Oh
noticed
yeah,
that.
yeah, the little Nanako emote. I was sitting here at like 4 in the morning with Kirby, like, just like, I want to go to bed so bad, I'm just gonna take whatever like gifs of characters I have in my folder, and I'm just gonna put them in here. And this is the result. This is what I came up with.
Honestly, it looks less jank than having the Discord layout on there.
It does.
Because sometimes Discord doesn't mesh with the grid. I don't know why, it just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, using Discord is just such a hassle, like, to try, because, like, I can't, like, if someone starts messaging me about something happening, you will see it on the stream.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you recall a certain podcast where a certain someone sent a certain image in the middle of it, that created a certain clip, but, you know.
Very good. Mira, no.
Well, I wasn't even talking about that one. He sent the Iru picture.
Yeah, the ear.
I just every time you say that moment, I think of New, and I think of Small Mira, specifically.
Small Mira.
And then preceded by the Big Mira. Mira.
Big Mira. Show your Discord? No. No. No.
So if you wanted to like take questions and all that, you have no issue with that. I can show my thing afterwards. I can show the thing before. It's completely up to you.
What do the people want? That's what I want to know. You
I'm
guys
sure
want to
they
ask
have
questions? Do you guys want questions now, or do you guys want us to talk about some stuff and then you guys can ask questions? Actually, it's probably better we announce first because they're gonna have questions about what we're gonna talk about.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They're gonna have questions for when they might have questions when I present.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have questions for me too, I'm sure.
Okay.
It's not all about you, Kirby! I'm here too! I can be important sometimes if I want to!
They might have questions for Glitch too.
Oh, do you? Ask away.
No. I'm saying the chat might have
Oh,
questions.
does anyone in chat have questions for Glitch then? Genuinely? I mean, you know. Do you think I should bring back Daily Dillons? No, I don't.
Daily Dylan.
Oh yeah, that's a good question, Doc. What
How
is
far
your...
do you want to play this game?
Yeah, do you have like an end goal?
That's
Hardest character to fight? No sort of like long-term goal, I guess, overall. Nath is the hardest character to fight. That's a fair assessment. I mean, given the characters that you play, I think that makes sense. Or just like to play, even. Pretty much all the characters that you have preference towards are...
You fighting Nath, sorry. Oh no. The Nath counter pick is too
unlucky. But, yeah, I mean, I do think that is a very good question. I suppose Glitch probably doesn't really have an answer. They probably don't really know.
Yeah, they said they don't know.
Yeah, just kind of, you know, enjoy it for the time being and see what happens. I can appreciate the go with the flow sort of mentality. I'm very much like that myself, where I'm not very good at planning things. I mean, if that wasn't clear by how off my game I was today, to say the least. But yeah, I definitely like to just take things as they come and you know, worry about it once it gets there, which has definitely been a very big theme of today. I feel like, but yeah, to a fault, you know, it happens. But yeah, I think that is really neat. I don't know if either of you guys have any more questions for Glitch. I guess chat has already asked all the questions toward Glitch that they want to. So I don't know if, you know, I mean, we don't need to drag the interview on too long. I mean, if Glitch wants to go, I have no problem with it. If you want to stay and listen in, you're more than welcome to.
You get to beat the stream delay.
Yeah, I mean, you get to hear all the insider, you know, before everyone else does by about like probably 3 seconds or something like that. How does it feel to be Fush? I mean, yeah, that's gotta be a very triumphant feeling. I mean, Fush is whether ironically or not, Fush is a very large ego, but she's also a very modest loser, I think.
Oh yeah, so I guess that is a
day.
question. Like, how are you feeling like after this tournament? Because it's been like what, 6 hours? Like, are you
Oh,
feeling
yeah.
tired after that?
I also wonder, how nervous were you? Were you very nervous throughout the day, or not as tired as you'd expect? That's good, at least. I mean,
That's
keep
fair.
the energy up.
Yeah, especially after a big win like that, you get like energized. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then you have nothing to put it towards.
Well, you're just on adrenaline all day, dude.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, really, there were constant opponents that were taking it very close with you. So it was very cool to see another person get a win on the board, even if it is another Sumika player. But I did appreciate the variety in characters that you brought to the table, and you know, you really used all of them at a high level, which was really cool.
Fush is one of the best players.
Yeah, I mean, because that's something that, like, Nyx never really did, because Nyx, like, experimented with a lot of characters, but he never used them all at once. He was always very focused on one character at a time, so he would play a lot of Sumika, and then, you know, he got really good with Sumika, and then he was like, I'm gonna start playing Sora now. Actually, I'm gonna start playing C now. And then,
I'm
like,
gonna play
would just-
Siguri now. I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, he had more like phases of sorts rather than just like, I'm going to just learn as many characters as I can. That was kind of more in line with New, I guess, if we're gonna make comparisons here, where he kind of would just like switch around characters if you so decided.
I just felt like he was ahead of the curve, though. I think that's why he was like did that.
Yeah, I mean that's valid. But
People did
regardless
catch
of
up
the
to him.
reason,
They're not gonna...
yeah, regardless of the reason, you know, he definitely had a lot more diversity. Whereas Nyx was much more like, I'm just going to stick to one character for a while, and then I'm just going to keep playing them until I get bored and want to play someone else. So yeah. Any other last-minute questions before we wrap up the whole interview bit of the podcast?
I don't have anything but a pre congratulations on getting 10,000.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's gonna be another big victory even after winning the tournament. Get your first win before you hit 10,000. That's good.
You'll be the fourth person to hit 10,000.
Yep.
Assuming you play,
I mean,
because this is like almost there too.
You need less than 20 games now. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's 17 games up the way.
That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, and also just big congrats for winning again.
Yeah, good job, Glitch. Good job. I was genuinely impressed.
I thought it was funny because before today, Neon, I don't even think I'd heard of you. Like, a lot of these old players keep coming in and they're like, who the hell's Glitch? And it's just like, dude, they won, like, a major tournament over, like, Plush, which is something that, like, Nyx was struggling to do for a while, even. And, you know, everyone has a lot of respect for Nyx. And he and Fush went back and forth for a long time, even if, like, I think for a time he was kind of favored. But, even so, like, you know...
I think Nyx and Glitch also have drastically different playstyles.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Nyx definitely has a very distinct playstyle from, like, everyone else, I feel like.
Gusa, no.
I've not been here for even a whole year yet. Gusa, shut up. What? Okay, man. Alright, man. Enough. Not very surprising all the players don't know me. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of how it is, but it's interesting to just be like, yeah, someone has already come in the time you've been gone, and just, like, won.
Yeah, that happened with Illy, too, where they just, like, came in and, like, got really good and then, like, returned. Like,
and then left.
It was Illy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that was literally me. That was literally me. I showed up here, and everyone was like, oh yeah, by the way, this dude got really fucking good, and then left. And I'm like...
They retired, you're like...
So this man already had a whole career in the time I was gone? Like, I already missed, like, a whole generation of people that are just gone now? That's so weird. It was so absolutely strange. But yeah, I agree with Hydro. It has been very amazing. I mean, that's how it goes when you play as much as you have. What's up, Lou? Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy stuff. But yeah, I think that's about all I've got for the interview stuff. I suppose we have other matters to attend to. But again, congrats. We'll talk shop about the prizes and such later on, after the podcast, or tomorrow, or whenever I have time. Probably Monday, I guess, will be the best time for me, if not tonight. But yeah, cool. So Kirby, you want to go first? You want me to?
I guess we could do introductions, but everyone kind of knows there's the three of us, I feel, at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of gave you guys brief introductions before I hopped in here. But,
I mean,
yeah, but I mean, if you want to do it yourself, feel free to do it again.
For those people who forgot me or don't know me, I'm Kirby J. I'm the community server owner for AOS2. Surprising because I'm not around as much. Sometimes I feel like people are just like, oh, Jam's the owner, right? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
But
I've had some people still think I'm the owner.
Yeah,
I'm not even a mod.
Ask me that question. But yeah, it's been a while. I have a couple of projects that I'm working on. I'm gonna kind of be showing off one project today that's gonna be finished somewhat soon in comparison to my other more in-depth, I would say more of a passion, motion comic project. That's a completely separate thing, so I won't be talking about that today that I mentioned on the last podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did go over that in the last podcast, but yeah, we do have, or at least Kirby, rather, has something different to talk about today that I think you guys will find very interesting.
Disclaimer, guys, I'm pretty sick. So my voice is like really fucked up right now. Actually,
Everyone
so
died like right before the podcast.
so actually, and so hello was supposed to help me talk a bit because it's gonna be quite difficult for me to kind of talk about this, but I will try my best. I may have to take a pause for a couple minutes here and there, but I think I'll be able to get through this.
Sure.
Chilling.
That's fine.
So to start off, the main project I'll be talking about today is called Bullet Station. So that's a bit vague. What does that mean? So I'm gonna, as I'm talking, I assume Lalo will post some stuff on here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him.
So Bullet Station basically is an amalgamation of bullet hell, shoot 'em up style PvP games. We're gonna be putting a focus on the niche genre rather than the individual games themselves.
Kirby, you never gave me an AOS2 transparent logo.
Oh yeah, the one I gave you was like fake or something, right?
Why did they fake the checkerboards?
Yeah, why would they fake the checkerboard? I
No.
don't know. Honestly,
I don't have an AOS2
I
logo.
don't think it matters
Okay, that's fine.
because it's gonna fit into the boxes.
I
But
would just put
so
it.
so yeah, so Bullet Station. Don't worry, Lalo, you can do your best. I'm talking about it. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're gonna be listening to what I'm saying, and I'm sure they could recognize some of those characters on there. So I'll get into a bit detail. So as I said before, it's Bullet Station. I mentioned the idea is it's an amalgamation of bullet hell and shoot 'em up style PvP fighting games, which there are many bullet hell games and there are many shoot 'em up style games, but there are not many bullet hell shoot 'em up style PvP games. Those are a bit more niche. So, oh god. But
Bear with me. I'm getting there, little by little.
so the goal is essentially to instead of looking at these games individually and have the communities, I personally I played Made It and Spell before, and I've played AOS2. I'm more of a secondary Touhou fan. I actually haven't played too many Touhou games. I've touched more of the spin-offs, but essentially I do have the Bullet Station is not just going to be a Discord. So originally it is going to be a Discord, but I want it to be more of a hub, and it's going to have much more than just like tournaments and stuff like that. This is going to be kind of like a connection between these three games, but the idea is that if you kind of pour all the resources of these games together as genres, then it will lift up the whole PvP bullet hell shoot 'em up genre as a whole. And that sounds like a really tall order, but I think the best way I could explain that is kind of like how the melee effect is kind of what I kind of dubbed it as. I'm sure Lalo knows his stuff about Melee. When Melee first came out, obviously it was, considered more of a party game, but people quickly found out, how competitively viable it was, and it's still being played today.
True.
And not to say Smash is the only platform fighter, but it, definitely paved the way, for many other, I just off the top of my head I could think of Rivals of Aether, Brawlhalla, Slap City.
Let's go Slap
Obviously,
City.
there's Smash. Those are like, I think
Nickelodeon
there's other
fighters?
ones too, but.
Let's go Nickelodeon fighters.
Was that Lalo?
I said let's go Nickelodeon fighters.
Yeah, there's way more platform. I just threw the ones out there that people they play or they know competitively.
True.
So essentially, Bullet Station. I've spoken. This is gonna sound a little random, and this is gonna be, and I'm not delivering in this the best way. But I've spoken to the Made It and Spell dev. I'm friends with Flaybuster, and I've spoken to the community dev for Phantasmagoria, because this is not like a one game thing. These are multiple games, and they all have different communities. So when I make this hub, my intention is not to be the owner of this Discord. It's more going to be like a full community involvement. I intend on having people representing each game for their communities, their respective communities. So, I wouldn't mind representing AOS2 to a certain extent, because I know AOS2, but I have played Mid and Spell, and I've seen gameplay for Phantasmagoria, and although I do have interest in those games, I'm not in those communities to the level that I am in the AOS2 community. So it would be best for someone from those communities to represent on this Discord. And that's kind of the idea, is it's a hub where everyone can travel in between that main server, but the intention is not to steal members. The intention is to grow the whole genre, and that's going to help all games and all of the Discord servers. At least that's the idea. So we have there's some other goals. I mean, I want to do in the future. I would love to do some kind of fundraising like quarterly rapper too, but that's obviously much future. You know, obviously we're gonna have tournaments. I intend on having some kind of podcast to kind of like have a generalized, you know, generalized stream where people from all of the games can kind of come together and watch, instead of it just being, hey, you know, I'll check out the AOS2 you know, tournament today, I'll check out the Made in a Spell tournament today. We'll have that, sure, but we'll also have something where everyone can kind of group together. So these are the 3 launch titles that I have lined up for it. It's going to be Made in Spell, Phantasmagoria, Flower View, and AOS2. And I picked these games primarily because they're very hard to find. There's not many PvP style bullet hell shoot 'em up fighting games. There's a couple other ones some people mentioned to me, but there's very few. And so this genre is like essentially a handful in terms of people knowing, like knowing this game, knowing that game. I mean, I've scoured the internet for anything similar to these kinds of games, and these are the ones that I've come up with. And I would love to keep adding more, but I think for the first lineup, I do want to have some kind of focus. So, let's see. I'm gonna continue. I have a script here because I want to make sure I make this concise. So, yes, I do want this to be more than just a Discord. I mentioned the podcast. I mentioned a possible fundraiser and events. I would love to include some kind of leaderboard system. That's going to be extremely difficult. That is not an easy thing to do when you have multiple games. But hopefully all of that stuff can be implemented over time. There's no rush to do everything at once. The main goal is to just have this hub, and then once the hub is built, I think it'll be beneficial. So, in addition to that, I have 2 projects going on now, and I want to confirm that the other one, even though is also big, I will not let it I will try to not let it be delayed by this one, because this is also a big project, but there's less pressure because the content that I have to make for it is different from the content that I have to make for the other one, and I have already been splitting my time, so I will try to be much more active this year. Well, with what's left of it, it's been quite a chaotic time. So I think for the explanation of Bullet Station, that's a pretty generalized idea. I can go in much more depth, but I think as a primer, that's a pretty good way to explain that whole idea. If anyone has any questions, you guys can ask me. I really wanted to go into more detail, but I just feel like really bad, so it's kind of hard to talk about this. I mean, I'm literally sweating as we speak.
Oh good,
So,
all good. Yeah, take it easy, man.
But yeah, I think, yeah, as I said, if you guys have any questions about this project, go ahead and ask, and I'll try to answer the best I can.
Looks like you already got one.
Let's see here. Are you planning to increasing the scope to stuff like Twinkle Star Sprites eventually, or is it only going to be these 3 games? That's Juggler, right? Welcome to OJ.
Yes. Yep.
So actually, I didn't mention one thing. I forgot to mention the secondary category. So I mentioned main lineup. These are the 3 main lineup games. So these are the ones that are going to be launching, and we can have more games in our main lineup. Absolutely, no problem with that. But I do want to clarify that because of the genre that I'm talking about here, and because of how niche it is, this Discord will primarily be games of these varieties. But as a secondary category, I wouldn't mind having some other FGCs in there, you know? There's other things that are unique that don't fit the standard fighting game genre. You know, Guilty Gear is nowhere near the same in terms of how it plays like Lethal League, but Lethal League is really popular too, right? So we could have a whole, I've decided that we're gonna have a secondary category where we have other games that we can show off, but the primary goal will be bullet hells / shoot 'em up PvP style games. As for secondary games, I mean, we can definitely go a little off the curve, because I don't want to like remove other FGC. You know, we're still trying to be our own kind of FGC thing. It's just a different, you know, a variety of FGC. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. And this is just another piece. This is just a piece of trivia, but do you have any? Well, let me ask this question first. Do you have? It's a long question. Do you have any worries of the kind of orphanage games? I don't really know how big the. I'm kind of confused. You're typing there.
They're asking if you're afraid that the Toho community is going to basically overwhelm the other two communities due to the size difference, because OJ and MNS are much smaller.
So I actually I thought about this before. So Toho is definitely the biggest franchise of these three games, and between OJ and the Suguriverse, some people do recognize Sora and Suguri and some of those characters sometimes. Obviously, Maiden and Spell is a lot newer, and so that's going to be less recognized. There is going to be some people will have concerns of the dwarfing problem, but I don't think it warrants not doing it, because if you look at it, if I were to look at it that way, then I wouldn't have made the server in the first place, or I wouldn't even have the idea of making the server in the first place. Toho is absolutely going to be the most popular in terms of its knowability, but the Phantasmagoria community, who I spoke to, the owner of the Phantasmagoria community, it's somewhat small. It's somewhat, I would say the member size is, it's somewhat close to AOS2. It's definitely smaller, but it's not like irrelevant. You know, there's still people there. You know, so.
Yeah, I believe when you told me, because you told me the size of the server, and I was like, oh, that's actually like, I mean, granted, there's like a vast majority of the AOS2 server of just people that like never speak, or like are like gone because they don't really like play the game anymore. But like the server sizes were actually pretty similar. Like I think it was like within a 100-person difference or something like that, which was pretty interesting. But I mean, that's kind of the effect of like AOS2 being an OJ game, because like a lot of AOS2 players, I'm sure most of the people in this chat probably found out about this game because of 100% Orange Juice. There are probably only a few of you at best that found out about this game on its own. And found out about OJ.
I agree with you on that. I found out about this game through Sora.
And that's kind of how you, that's kind of how most people trickle into OJ, because, you know, they find out about 100% Orange Juice and, like, they take interest in the characters, or just, like, you know, they like the game, and then they see there's a fighting game for it, and they're like, oh, I like fighting games. Or maybe, I mean, for a lot of people, they haven't even played a fighting game, and they're like, this seems interesting. Now I can get into fighting games for, you know, with characters that I actually like. And that too. Yeah. That's messed up. Don't say that.
That's the main reason people got it.
So wait, stop. No. Yeah, like, you know, so we kind of see a popularity of some sort come from elsewhere, but I think, to kind of chime in on that question, regarding, like, communities dwarfing one another or whatever, I think it's probably better to look at it from a more optimistic perspective, where you're basically directly sharing communities with each other, because, like, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know a thing about Maiden and Spell, and I don't know a thing about Phantasmagoria. I do not know anything about either of these games at all, and this, to me, just seems like an opportunity to learn about them, you know? Like, because I'm gonna like join the server or whatever, and the people are gonna be like, oh yeah, here's a video of Phantasmagoria, like this cool thing that I did, and I'm gonna be like, oh. Like, I don't even know what that game looks like, I don't know how it plays, I don't know anything about it, but like, it gives the same thing for vice versa too, because there's gonna be some group of Phantasmagoria players that are all gonna be like, oh, huh, I've never actually seen this game before, this actually looks pretty interesting, I'm gonna try it. And then they try it, and it's like, okay, well, now there's a bunch of people cycling between the different games, trying them all out, because it's in the similar genre, and they're, you know, then either they're just like, you know, I like the game and I'm going to keep playing it, or they're like, alright, well, I'm just going to stick to what I like, or I'm going to try the other one instead. And they just kind of, you know, it's just a chance to expand your horizons, really, the way I see it. But yeah, I mean, that's about all I have to say regarding the question, but that is an interesting question, I do think.
I'll one up that a bit. I do know people have the concern of the dwarfing thing. That's definitely a valid concern. But I think these games are so small that even in the worst case scenario, it's still a big positive if you consider things dwarfing. That's not going to happen. I don't see that happening like that, because that's not the point of this server. The server, that's specifically why I would like to implement, and that's why I spoke to the Maiden and Spell developer and to the Phantasmagoria community owners of the community server, yeah, owner. I spoke to them before I did this because I wanted to make sure that it aligns with what I was saying aligns with what they have for their servers, because they have their own servers to worry about as well do I. And that's why I think I guess I will technically be the owner of the server, but I really do want a council that will represent each game. It might just be 3 people, it might just be 1 person for each game. I mean, it really is dependent on the community. I want to see what they, and so, but that will kind of, by having community members, I don't think that will happen, because that's not really that's not the kind of environment where people are competitive, in that regard. Even in other fighting game discords, I don't really see that kind of stuff, and I'm in a few of them.
Yeah.
So
you have another question, by the way? How are you going to advertise the server?
So advertise. So this is something that I sat down and thought about for a while. I absolutely, if I advertise, I want it to be the right way, the respectful way, the responsible way. I'm not gonna spam this. Obviously, I'm not gonna start throwing invites everywhere. But hey guys, check the server out, and just like DM people. That's not the I do want this to be somewhat organic, and so that's kind of why I've spoke to the people from these other communities, and obviously I have my own community, or we have our own community, and I would like to kind of do it. I think a mingling way would be better, instead of having me just like kind of advertise it on its own. That's kind of why I went about this way, so that way when I do open up the server, it will have somewhat of some kind of population. It won't just be like 20 people and then slowly you will gain members, because I don't want to be replacement for these other servers, not even my server. I do want to host tournaments and events, but it will be more specialized in comparison to something like running an event on AOS 2 or running an event on ALTEMATE and Spell. I would like it to be more. I don't want to remove, because people will still want to run their own tourneys in their own communities as well, and that's kind of the balance. So that's why, as a hub, I think it serves its best. It serves the variety the best, because everyone knows that that's like the central area, and when you go there, you're not going to a different server for a different game. You're going to a server that has your game, that has other games of its variety, and that's just like that just sounds like a perfect situation to me. An interesting piece of trivia: Made in Spell, Phantasmagoria, and AOS 2. So we've all done episodes on Shooting Game Weekly. I am not sure if Phantasmagoria has done quarterly rapport. I don't think so, because it is even more niche than AOS 2 and Made in Spell in terms of its popular, or maybe a little more niche. But we've all done Shooting Game Weekly episodes, and I assume if Phantasmagoria would also love to be a part of the quarterly rapport too. I can never say that word.
It's weird. It's a weird pronunciation.
Rapport, right?
It's rapport.
It's rapport? Okay. Rappaport's some other dude. What the heck's wrong with me? So...
Yo!
So that's, yeah, and I'm trying to think. There's like a lot of other things I want to do with the server, and I do want people's ideas and stuff like that. But those will come in time, and I will unveil. But I will try to get this server out as quick as I possibly can, so that way we can experiment and do things with it.
Yeah.
So the advertising question, to kind of finish it off, I will say it, but I'm glad I have a Touhou game on the lineup, because Touhou is a very popular game, and just by proxy, it being there automatically, that's not my intention as to why it was there, but just by proxy of it being Touhou, that will bring some attention. But I also think attention will come from, to a lesser extent, the OJ community, or the Fruit Bat Factory Games community, and just AOS 2 obviously is, that's the game that's being represented. And Made in Spell is relatively new, but I think Made in Spell is, I think it's a very interesting and unique game, and there's a surprising amount of players in their server. I think they actually have more members than this, am I wrong on that? I thought they did. Maybe I could be wrong. But
I got no idea.
I can see. I can check out that.
But if anyone has any more questions, you guys can ask away, and if not, we can just move on to some normal questions.
1,813.
Yeah, they have
members?
double R's almost.
Yeah, they. I had a feeling they have a lot of members.
That's crazy. I wouldn't expect that.
I remember Nix at one point said that, I think this was probably earlier on though, but he did say that the player count was lower, but I think that was just because of its debut,
Yeah.
not because of its longevity.
Almost.
I think they're pretty similar. AOS2 and MNS are pretty similar in terms of player numbers, where there's always like at least 1 or 2 people that are around, but for the most part, that's it. Mostly.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, are there any other questions? I don't want to just abruptly move on, because I know this is this is a lot to process, a big, pretty big thing. But,
Yeah.
So you said this isn't going to be for a while, right? You don't think this will be, like, in the near future?
Oh no, I do want to make this the near future. This is something
okay.
that I'm gonna like. I'm gonna try to, at minimum, I want to have the Discord be functional, and it might not have all the special things, but if it looks up to my quality of my standard of quality, I will open the Discord and we'll start, flowing ideas in there, But I want to make sure it's ready, because I want to make sure when I open the Discord, it's not complete chaos. I have to make sure everything's organized. There's proper roles and people can't just mess around with the bots and all that stuff.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, that's that's definitely a thing that can happen. So
yeah, we had it happen here. That's why I brought it up.
Oh yeah, we did.
The bot scenario a long time ago.
Oh my, I remember that. Yeah.
And that's why we have
the
no
bot. The bot that you. Yeah, I remember you put a bot in for one tournament and everyone like.
It was for the music, yeah.
That was cursed. That was so cursed.
Never again.
Yeah, I think the AOS2 community has a bit of a rough history with bots. We got Nightbot like assassinating the community at large when they're deserving.
Oh yeah, we have Nightbot now, just like killing everyone.
We had whatever bot Kirby brought in, just like being absolutely abused. We had the Now Live bot, which is just broken and just like stopped working over 2 years ago.
Yeah, for like 3 years. Yeah.
The Papa Smurf
like
incident.
as soon as it started getting used.
Robophobia is being developed here a little bit. But yeah, that's really cool to hear. I'm very interested to see what comes of it. Yeah, I don't know if do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about in regards to it, Kirby, or?
I think that's a good place to end on like explaining it.
Mm. Okay. Oh god, the chicken theme. Oh no, I forgot to put that in here. Oh, it was so late. Ah. Anyways, it's okay. It's okay. Oh god.
Oh no, he's.
I'm dying, squirrel. Danger. I actually started choking as soon as.
Oh no.
Okay. Should I talk about my thing
The
or
team incident.
should
Well, you can go ahead and do your thing.
Okay. Okay, thank God the song ended. We actually have a serious song now. So...
DL16.
No, please. Please don't say that. I don't want to die. So, on a bit of a different note, we're talking pretty big scope here. I'm gonna take a step back and kind of narrow things down a little bit back to us for the time being. AOS 2, pretty existing game that exists. Blue, don't say that. You're pressuring me.
Oh no.
It's party time. It's time.
It's party time.
It's party time. Okay, I'll get on with it. I swear. So, this is something that a lot of people have kind of doubted. I think Blue and I were actually laughing about it a little while ago because there was someone in the AOS 2 channel on the Fruit Bat Factory server that was saying that this would never happen. A few people actually saying this would never happen and that it was stupid to think about. And there was some people who have kind of just been dreading it. Some people who have been anticipating it. But the time has finally come where we have decided that we are going to officially, at some point in the near future, begin changing the balance of AOS 2. And we've already started looking into things. We have already thought about what we're going to do, how we're going to tackle it, and we got a small group of top players together And we talked about how we're going to go about doing this. And we decided that what we're going to do is we're going to do an open beta. That's right, all of you can participate in it. I will say that this time the tournaments will not be in the open beta. We will be using the current live builds for the tournaments still. At least that's my plan. I don't know about Jam. If Jam wants to run open beta tournaments, he's more than welcome to. I probably wouldn't recommend it, but you know. But yes, we have already decided the plan in terms of how we want to do it. And I think the best way is, I mean, I guess I can talk a tiny bit about it, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. But it is an open beta, so all of you will have access to it, and you will all be able to give input on things. But we have decided the characters that we're going to start doing, and funnily, this was actually derived from the list that we used from the last podcast. And the character we decided to start out with is a pretty interesting one, and I think that how this character goes in terms of what we decide to do with her will be pretty indicative of how the rest of it will go. Because she has, you know, she's a very controversial character. But we're planning to start with Iru as our first character that we want to try and do something about, so to speak. Because, you know, I feel like Iru is such a defining character in terms of when people look at the game and, like, its issues, I suppose. To quote Mew...
Oh no.
I just want to say, I think you should stop right there, sir.
No.
I hear that.
This is probably the nicest thing he's ever said about Iru, but he basically said that he thinks that Iru is basically the culmination of everything that he thinks is wrong with the game. And when I think about that, and I think about changing the character, I feel like if we were to take that character and make something good out of it, that would leave a very strong, lasting impression in terms of what we can actually do with the other characters in this game. She's definitely one of the most controversial characters. Will you invite new to beta testers? I mean, it's not a closed beta. He could just hop on the game if he wanted. He's not going to. But he could if he really wanted to, which he doesn't. Regardless, yeah. My announcement's not really as long as Kirby's, but I can attempt to answer questions, though there's probably going to be a lot of answers I won't be able to actually, or questions I won't actually be able to answer very well, if at all. So, I mean, you guys are free to ask me stuff, but I can only talk about it so much. Beta ETA, I knew that was going to be the first question. There is not one. But it is
coming
soon.
when it's coming. You'll find out.
We have decided not to come up with one because we don't actually know when we're going to be ready exactly. But I'm just saying that it is officially the next thing that we are working on. We'll probably still be doing our usual quality of life, bug fixing things and such. Alte buffs? I mean, if it keeps going well, eventually, yeah. I don't know about buffs. I mean, I don't necessarily mind if Alte stays the worst character in the game if she's fun to play, which I don't think she is personally. But, how big in scope is Iru's changes? Are there going to be entirely new moves? There's the question again. That is not something we've really spoken about. I'll say that much. I don't really know. Which is, you know, like I said, kind of the answer I was expecting.
We're
to
in
give
the
to a lot
early
of things.
stages still of trying to figure out what to do.
We have literally, like, just started doing this. This is maybe, like, a month in the making. So, like, we have only actually started talking about, like, what we are going to do and not how we're going to do it, pretty much. So, do keep that in mind. That, like, we haven't really gotten so far as to deciding, like, how far are we willing to go in terms of characters? Like, what specifically do we want to get out of a character? Who's working on this at the moment? I don't know if I'm allowed to disclose that information.
Blue Link, yeah.
Blue Link is working on it. I'm working on it. Flaybuster's working on it to some degree. Some other top players who I don't know if they really want to have that information disclosed because I feel like people might bother them or something when it's not their responsibility, so I'm going to omit their names. That's up to them if they want to, you know, say that they're working on it or whatever, but will beta be like a long-term thing, or will it be, here are some changes, how should we tweak them, bam, release? No. Basically, the way that I see it, and I think Blue probably agrees with me, maybe he doesn't, but the way that I personally see it is that what we want to do is, we want to take a character, we want to change something, we want to see how people think of it, or like what they think of it, basically. So like with Iru, you know, maybe we might change her rockets, and then we're gonna see, okay, how does, like, can we find a way to change the rockets in a way that people will be satisfied with them? If no, then we'll change it again, and we'll keep doing that until, you know, we can make that answer yes, and if it's yes, then we'll try and go on to the next step. Okay, maybe photon beam needs to be something different. So it's a long-term thing. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to put it, that it will be a long-term thing. I mean, this is a very long and drawn-out process. Pretty much every character, I think, has something about them that could probably be changed for the better. I mean, I can't say that for sure, because I don't know how this is going to go. I have very vague ideas about, you know, how I personally think things should go, but, I don't see myself as the one on the main forefront of, I kind of, I guess, in terms of where I stand in this whole thing, I almost feel more like a director rather than actually, like, working on it firsthand, because I'm kind of leaving that more to the top players, and the devs as well to, you know, actually do the physical work, but I'm kind of just making sure that, in a way, like a QA lead of sorts, I guess, making sure everyone's on the same page with things, making sure everyone is actually, you know, like, doing what they need to, things like that. But yeah, so that's kind of a vague description of, like, what we're gonna do. But yes, I do see it being a long-term thing. I don't think it will be anything like the previous beta that we had, which just ended up basically being a patch that took a long time to be a patch.
Yeah, this one is planned to have a lot more community input into what's actually going to happen.
Yes.
So it's going to be a lot different than what we've had before.
They're also going to be much smaller, because we want... The goal is that people will actually try out, because, like, basically, the thing that I'm hopeful for is that people aren't just going to only try Iru mirroring each other or something like that, and will try and actually play the character against as much of the, like, the rest of the cast that they can in their current state. And, you know, that's something that needs to be kept in mind, too, because, you know, we could change Iru, and then, you know, we change all these other characters, and then somewhere down the line, you know, we realize, well, damn, there's been some sort of power creep, and now Iru is no longer in a good place, and we might need to go back and change Iru again. You know, like, something like that could happen. We don't know. This is a very volatile thing to, like, undertake. So, yeah, like, I don't know. It's certainly a lot, and hopefully it won't be too stressful. I will ask that, you know, during this process, that everyone be kind to each other. You know, be responsible, be mature, be respectful of both, you know, the other players and the devs, especially the devs, because, you know, they're busting their balls trying to get this to work for you.
We love you, Blue Link.
Yes.
The legend.
Exactly. So, you know, give him your patience, give him your time, give him your, you know, whatever you are willing to give. You know, don't feel like you have to be the main forerunner in the process either. In fact, I would probably encourage you not to be too prevalent, because I suppose we want to get a little from everyone. Yeah, I know, Blue, but even so, I think it's worth saying, you know.
I still worry about you, so I can worry about all I want to.
But I have faith regardless. But yeah. So just understand that this is going to be a large process, you know? And we're gonna make mistakes. Everyone does, you know? Things might not go perfectly. We'll do our best to be open-minded and learn from them. And you know, I mean, even in like the absolute worst case, if, you know, we're off to a rough start and, you know, things aren't really looking up, then, you know, I think there's really nothing to lose by doing this, but I could be wrong. I am cautiously excited and optimistic about this. Of course, I mean, obviously it's a risk. We're taking a risk by doing this, so, you know, understand that risks come with rewards and downsides as well. But yeah, hopefully that, you know, ignites some excitement in some people, get a little interest back into the game, that those sorts of changes are on the horizon, and yeah. You think you'll focus on making them really fun first, or making their bad matchups less bad first? I feel like those kind of go hand in hand, honestly. Because, like, I feel like a lot of the reason why Alte isn't fun, for example, is because of, like, how slow she is and how one-dimensional her kit is. But the fact that her kit is one-dimensional means that any character that can deal with her one-dimensional kit beats her. And if she has a more variable kit, she becomes more fun, and also someone is less apt to be able to just solve her with one move. Nath. So, you know, it depends. I wouldn't say that I'm going to generalize anything. Is fun factor the issue with this game's low tiers? I think that varies from person to person, just like with pretty much every other opinion. But yeah. What else was I gonna say? In regards to the original question, yeah, I think it varies, but obviously I do think that some more general things need to be addressed with the game, more than just character-specific things, though, I mean, both are definitely necessary. I'm not really sure if there are, like, general game mechanics that need to be changed to some degree. I mean, it's very possible. The game is very defensive in nature, and I don't think that's really the fault of any particular character, but more just, like, a thing that is in the game itself. And trying to find ways to encourage not just aggression, but, like, more meaningful interactions, I guess. That's the way I see it, at least, is, like, because the game doesn't need to necessarily be, like, exclusively aggressive. Like, it does need to be more aggressive, but it doesn't necessarily need to be entirely aggressive, because, like, zoners are a thing that exist. We have them in every fighting game, pretty much. Characters that are very zoner-heavy. Please stop asking to give Zora the Zapper, I swear to God. It's like the 5th time you've asked. I will not stand for this. But, yeah, like, I want players to be able to consistently have meaningful interactions and not feel like they're basically just rinse and repeating the same process of trying to get in and either failing or whatever. Wonder how you would make aggressive play more rewarding? That's a hard question to answer in, you know, without really getting any time to think about it. But, I mean, there's infinite possibilities for what we could do. And it just comes down to which one we decide to go with. And, if it makes the most people possible happy, then I think that's a fine thing. I think it's also worth understanding that there are going to be some things that you might have a problem with. It's very possible that your character might get changed in a way that, you know, like they might have one thing that maybe you don't enjoy, but everyone else really likes it, and sometimes that sort of sacrifice needs to be made, you know? For the greater good, or whatnot. But, it's Secure ESP and give it a zapper. Oh my God.
Oh no, the best of both worlds.
You're almost convincing me by saying this. No. I mean, yeah, I think that being open-minded is just a good thing in general. As we progress further into the wormhole of, or rabbit hole, I guess, of balance, you know? Because it's definitely going to be a rabbit hole. There's going to be a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's that's about where I'm at, I guess, and Blue Link is at. So, you know, get excited, but maybe not too excited. You know, don't start bugging people.
Temper your
or anything.
expectations a little bit.
Yeah. Because you know we don't know. I guess the best ETA I can give is near future, but like I don't have one. I will not and cannot promise you anything, because again I don't want to give you expectations and then have them not be met. So for now, you know, just enjoy the fact that it's coming, and be pleasantly surprised when it does. And for now, just, you know, keep on playing the game and enjoying it, entering the tournaments and all that. And yeah. Hime, okay. Cool.
Anything you want to say, Jim?
He spent 5,000 points for that.
Yeah, I mean, he did it earlier too. Do you have anything that you want to say or talk about, Jam? What's been going on with you, man? What's up?
Nothing.
Wow, amazing. Fucking fantastic. Thanks, Jim. Thanks so much for your
Oh, okay.
contribution.
I have one thing. to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, what's up?
Not going to have a bi-weekly.
Okay.
For this month, so.
Oh, okay.
That's
Gotcha. So the next one.
Because I have something to do in 2 weeks.
So the next one will be what? September something? 11th or August 28th
Yeah,
or?
we're making it on September 11th.
Gotcha. Interesting. Okay. H. Is Jam at 200%? Jam?
I got something to say if you're done, Lalo.
Yeah, go for it.
So we were talking about the projects earlier, right? But obviously this is the 10th anniversary for AOS 2. Obviously you haven't been around for 10 years on this game, but
I don't think anyone has.
but I mean it's still been a pretty long time. I remember. So I'll tell a small story here because since this is the anniversary, we can kind of say whatever we want, right?
What does that mean? Oh, danger! No, go ahead.
It's not danger, but what is it? 2017. I saw OJ and Sora on Steam, and then I saw this game being developed. It wasn't even released yet in 2017.
Are we doing origin stories here?
Well, yeah. I think I kind of wanted to explain my story because
Okay.
I want people to not to like fucking glorify myself to kind of give people some like kind of good vibes, but
Yeah.
I saw this game in 2017 on Steam, and it was still being made. It wasn't finished yet. The translation wasn't done yet. They only had pictures for the lobbies. I don't even think they had the trailer yet, if I remember correctly. This was a long time ago. I was looking at it like in discussion page on Steam. People were actually still asking questions. So when it came out in 2018, or there was the open beta in 2018, I remember I actually think I played a little bit. I think I played I played Squash at some point. I haven't even met Lalo yet. I didn't meet Jam. I didn't meet Yuggler. I only played in the game and during the lobby systems. But once the game came out in 2018, a few months later, it was March, right?
Yes.
It came out in March. So it came out in March in 2018, and for the U.S. release. Or the published, is it the US release? Technically, I guess it is.
Yeah.
But they did it for other languages too. I'm just saying the Steam release.
Yeah.
But I joined. So once I joined the server when the game came out, I didn't even know that there was a server. I joined, and the first thing that I wanted to do was to throw a tournament. I think Lalo may have actually seen. I think I actually spoke to Lalo that first time, or someone else I've spoken to.
I think that might have been the case. Yeah, I don't remember.
But you do remember Hypernova, right? Yeah, so that was the first tournament yeah, you did play, yeah, you did. But that was in 2018. That was almost 4 years ago, or it may as well be 4 years ago, because we're so close to the end of this year.
It's like 3.5, yeah, or so.
So I've been looking at the game for 4 years, but I've been in the community for 3. And when I joined for about 2 years, I did events and stuff, and it's been a lot. We've been here for a lot, like 4 years or 3, like even 2 years is a lot. But the fact that I've been here for 3.5 years is quite like, you know, it's rare that I put that much amount of time into a single game. So, you know, during the events that I've done, You know, there's been good moments, there's been bad moments, there's been mistakes, there's been mishaps, but there's been funny shit. You know, there's been everything. It's been very like, you know, a great community of people. But I never thought that I would be the owner of the server. I think that's the thing that kind of got me. When I first joined, I was not the owner of the server. I was just a random who wanted to throw a tournament. so I was I never thought I would be the owner of the server, and it's been very upsetting that I haven't been able to like be as active as I want to be. But I am still sticking with it because I do like the game and I do like the genre, and hopefully people can look at that and understand that just because you're like a random member, you're a random player, you know, like skill isn't everything, you know, it's so much more than that. I have been in this community longer than probably a lot more than a lot of other people, but I'm nowhere near as good as most players, and that's just because I do like the game, but the gameplay isn't the only thing that matters. Obviously gameplay is extremely important for any FGC. But a lot of people left, a lot of people stayed, some came back. I stuck with it. Not you don't have to stick with everything, but you know, if you stick around, sometimes you'll be more surprised than you would think.
I mean, yeah,
just wanted...
like when you proceeded to then run the biggest tournament of all time out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of mistakes there. You know, I definitely, you know, I was happy about that, but I was also, it was good though that I'm happy that I made mistakes because
you have nothing to be embarrassed about, man. I don't know how many times I can tell you
no,
that.
but here's the thing. You say that, but I just have I want to do it right. You know, that's just the mentality that I have. Like, I don't want to. Making mistakes is one thing, but I still want to get, generally speaking, the.
Sorry, I thought my stream died for a second.
I just want to get the experience right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't be perfect, obviously. I mean, even you make some mistakes, and you're way better at running tournaments than I am.
Dude,
so,
I fucked up so hard today.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Today was a mess.
You know, 10 years for the game. Honestly, I didn't even know that this game was 10 years old. I knew it was old, but you know, even if I'm only a part of it for 3.5 years, it's still a lot of story. There's a lot of story there, you know. Every FGC has their own thing, so that's kind of why like this project that I have is more than just like I want it to succeed. It's I'm very passionate. I'm like in this for the long run, you know. 3.5 years ago I was 19 years old, you know. Now I'm 22 years old.
Kirby does math.
So it's different well, yeah, a lot of you guys are throwing me off. But yeah, great friends too. I mean, like, I've stuck with Lalo for a long time, and like we've had good moments. We've bickered, and I've had good times with Jam, and you know, we're all tournament organizers, but we're also all friends. You know, like I think I saw Nick's say at some point, he's like, even if I don't play AOS2 that much, I always want to come back and check on my friends, because
that's the same for me. Yo.
That's
Absolutely.
the kind of like community that we are trying to foster, and that's the kind of community that I want to foster when I do this next project, and that's why I'm taking it so seriously. So hopefully, you know, I want people to look forward to it, but I want people to feel comfortable, and I want people to feel happy, because fighting games, there's a lot of shit talk, there's a lot of arguing, there's a lot of balance, there's so many things people fight about in games. I get it, it's a fighting game, you know, fighting the game, right? But we're all here to just have a good time, you know. Like, I hate losing as much as the next person, but you know, that's just part of the game. I'm not that good myself in AOS2. I would consider myself probably average, below average. But now seeing these players, I kind of want to play and practice myself. So it's been a long time since I've really played this game seriously. I miss playing this. Like, all you people might not know some of the names I'm gonna throw out there, but like, you know, Goober, Sora Goober, or people don't know him as Goober. People know him as Soraguri, not Goober. Soraguri.
Sora Goober. No, that's what we used to call him. That's why I said that.
You know, you have Ikusei or Isuki if you want to look at their art name.
It's just Ikusei backwards.
Or actually, it is. I never even knew that. It's so stupid. What? You know what's funny? You know what's funny? Ikusei told me that like his name is like his AOS2 name that he had, which was. It was Ikusei? Yeah, it was Ikusei. Yeah, he said that was like his spy name for AOS2, so that way people wouldn't know like he does art or something. It was something really funny when I first started playing with him. It was really funny. But yeah, a lot of people have come and went, but a lot of people still have stayed. So I don't know about Lalo and Jam, but that's, you know, been my experience in being in this community, you know?
Hell yeah. All right, Jam, origin story, go.
No, you do it.
No, because if I do it, then you won't. So you have to do it now.
If you do it, then I will. There you go.
Is that a promise?
Yeah.
You swear?
Jam, if you don't, you're gonna pay.
You swear.
If you break this promise, I'll make you pay more ways than you can imagine, son. If I ever see you again and you break your promise, it's on sight.
Okay.
Promise! Do it right now!
I promise. Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll go first. I swear to God, Jam. I swear to God. I swear to God. Okay, yeah. Origin stories? I mean, yeah, sure. It all started when I was born. No.
He came out of the womb like, you know what I'm saying?
No. Not quite, I'm afraid. But, so, I believe the way I found OJ was, I had a bunch of Lethal League buddies who, used to really like playing OJ back in, like, 2016, and I remember I'd see them talk about it all the time. Never really thought anything of it, and then, but it was just, like, a thing that I was aware of that they really liked playing. And a year later, in, like, October 2017, for like the Halloween update or whatever, they randomly started playing and they needed a fourth person, and I was just like, I'll play, I guess. And then I played for a while and I was like, damn, this is actually really fun. Like, everyone's just acting like idiots and we're having a good time. I had no idea what I was doing at all. And it was a pretty chill time, so then I started playing it more and I started looking at all the characters and stuff, and you know, I got a couple of my other friend groups into it, started playing it a bunch, all that good stuff. And I started, you know, I found Alte. I really liked that character. Thought she was really neat, so I started playing her a bunch. I started looking up, like, art of her and whatnot. And, you know, I remember the first, like, artwork I found, because at the time there was, like, nowhere near as much fan art as there is now. But there was, it was a drawing Cough Girl made from, like, 2016 or something. And, so from there I was kind of like, okay, yeah, like, this character's pretty cool stuff. I started, like, drawing them a little bit. At the time I, like, barely knew how to draw even, but, eventually, so I kind of stuck around for a while, and, I believe a few months later probably, I saw the AOS 2 beta, and I was like, oh, well, that's pretty cool, because I'm you know, I'm like a top Lethal League player, and I'm pretty good at Melee, and fighting games are pretty neat. So, you know, a fighting game for the characters that I'm currently very interested in sounds perfect for me. And so the game comes out, and I decided to join, and, you know, I kind of got, like, a little bit of a glimpse at the community. I can remember vividly my experience, because the first two people that I met from the community were Ilfie and Vazzle. That is a name I don't even know if the people here would know. I don't even know if either of you guys know who Vazzle is.
You mentioned Vazzle before. I think I know you're talking.
Jam, do you know who Vazzle is?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Youngler knows Vazzle. Yeah, it's a very ancient name. They stopped playing so long ago. Like, around when I was just starting out, they stopped playing. Vazzle and Ilfie, were both, like, talking to me for a while, and because I was, like, you know, I had just kind of joined, and I was kind of just getting, like, a feel for the community. Didn't really talk that much. But the first tournament was actually hosted for, like, the release by Youngler, who's in chat right now. And I was watching the tournament, and he seemed like he was having some trouble with some of the stuff on, like, Challenge or whatever, and so I started offering to help him, like, a little bit, and, like, offering suggestions. And from there, I was just like, why don't I host tournaments for AOS 2? Because, like, I already do it for Lethal League. Because, like, I had already hosted a few pretty big Lethal League tournaments in, like, 2016 and 17. So it had already, like, kind of become a thing that I was doing for a while. And I was just like, well, I already, like, know how to use everything, so why don't I just, like, why don't I just try running a tournament? And then everyone was just like, please run a tournament, make it like an ongoing thing. And I was like, I mean, I don't know how committed to it I'll be, but like I'll make like a weekly tournament, sure. And so these actually started out as weeklies. They were not bi-weekly at first. And I believe I did the first tournament maybe like a week or two after the launch tournament. Oh my god, Blue Rock, that's right, I remember that. That was also my first impression. After Ilfie and Vasil, like, brought me into the server, I saw the... I remember Blue Rock, this guy Blue Rock was like complaining about, he was having like a tantrum in the server, and Frosty was just being such a jerk to him, and I was like, huh, okay, well this is kind of weird, but...
So long ago.
Sure. I think I remember thinking to myself, like, man, weebs are built different, dude. These weebs are something else. They're crazy. They're all at each other's throats, and I just got here. But, yeah, so, you know, I started hosting, like, my first tournament or whatever, and at the time, we didn't even have spectator mode. I want you guys to imagine what that's like.
Yeah.
We did not have a spectator mode. People did not even get to watch any of the sets. Unless one of the players chose to stream it, which thankfully at the time we had a few players who were streamers. Vasil and Ilfie in particular were the two who streamed their tournament runs. And I believe Ilfie was the one who won my first tournament, if I remember correctly. I know Pomu won the launch tournament that Yuggler ran.
Pomu, I haven't heard that name.
Yeah.
They're still around, like in some places.
In varying degrees. I actually don't think I have contact with them anymore. I think they deleted their Discord account that I had access to. Messaging, but yeah, he comes around very, very rarely. But we were decently acquainted for a while. We would like talk about random stuff here and there. But yeah, things were different back in the day. Characters were much different. I mean, you know, the meta was just not the same like it is now. People thought that Iru was one of the best characters in the game. Truly was also, yeah, because Nanako was, you know, like at her best. Kai was actually considered not that good at the time. She was like mid-tier or something, even though she's actually almost no different than she is now. What else? I mean, there was laser tech. Sora didn't, you know, have heat gain on any of her stuff. Hime had wall bangs. Iru also had laser tech. Alte had better, you know, like SLP and worse claymores. Like, the list goes on. There's so many things that have changed in the game since then, for better or worse. But, yeah, it's just, like, the game was... Oh, yeah, Sora did more damage, too, that's right. But, yeah, like, we just learned all of these crazy things. Blue Rock is still in the server. I have noticed that, actually. That is true. But, yeah, a lot has changed. Pylons used to have more health. Kyoko Neutral Hyper was slower and, like, shotgun differently. Special Hyper did more damage. Kyoko's meter gain on Coldstream was higher. She had more meter gain on her best meter gain move. This is, you know, Clones double kicked it at one point. That wasn't at the very beginning though. That was a change. That wasn't like the original patch. But yeah, it was a very different time. And it was kind of something that you just like. Starbreaker was slower, that's true. We actually thought that she was one of the worst characters. There were some JP players who said that they thought Starbreaker was worse than Sham at a point, which is interesting to me, but it was not promptly reverted, no. Absolutely not. It took a while to change that back. It was there for months.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, after that, I mean, I just kind of kept hosting the tournaments for a while, and, I don't even remember... Oh, no, I do, actually. Because the first, like, friend, I guess, that I made in AOS 2 was, Squash, actually, I believe. Yeah, because I remember I saw Squash and someone else in the voice chat one night, in, like, early 2019 or 2018 or something. And I kind of just hopped in there, like, randomly, and Squash and I kind of just, like, talked until, like, 5 in the morning or something abysmal. Like, we just talked, and, like, we just hit it off. And, at that point, I was kind of just, like, I remember getting off and just, like, lying down in bed and being like, damn, this community is actually pretty cool. Like, that was kind of, like, the moment for me after Squash and I spoke that I was just like, actually, like, this is worth sticking around for. And eventually I changed the tournaments to bi-weeklies, you know, kept doing them, stuff like that. And time passed for, you know, a while. A lot changed for me. I mean, I made a lot of friends. It was really crazy because, like, all of the stuff that I had kind of looked up to when I first, like, joined the community, because, like, now Cough Girl's one of my best friends, and, like, she was, like, my first impression on getting into, like, the characters and stuff. And I even realized that, like, I had some Undertale avatar that she drew in, like, 2015 or something that I used for the longest time, and I didn't know it was hers. And I found out, like, a year ago, and I think I had a stroke. Same with Ikusei, like, you know, I remember seeing his art and being like, damn, like, you know, that's so cool that we have so many cool artists around, and he played AOS 2, and I became friends with him through playing AOS 2 with him, just like Kirby did. And, you know, we still talk about art and stuff all the time now, even despite the fact that he's not really around the game much. You know, and then Squash got Nyx into the game. That one
Squash
VC
the
where
first
you and
person
Nyx
I
played
spoke to as
Smash.
well.
Oh, that one, yeah, Hispanic. That honestly was one of my, I think that was one of my favorite nights too. That's still my sub alert on my Twitch channel. Whenever someone subs to me, that one clip of me, getting, I think he like stomped me into up air, into up B on Poke Floats in like the top right corner, and then he taunted, and I remember sitting there for a moment, and I was just like, my brain shut off, and the first thing that popped out of my mouth was, I'm gay. And everyone just absolutely lost it. And that is now my sub alert. It's just... I just didn't know how to react to it, dude. And that whole night, just the two of us messing around, there's so many good clips from... I still have some of them. But yeah, and there was just like 10 people or like 15 people or something all in the voice chat just hanging out at like 2 in the morning, while Nyx and I were just like, you know... We were just sitting there, like, totally out of it playing Smash while everyone was laughing their asses off and having a good time. And, you know, Prime and New and Sonic and Nyx. And, yeah, it was like, after a while, it's just like, I had made so many friends here that it, I mean, Kirby too. Kirby was also a part of that as well. We just kind of had this little group of people. That's a great clip, Gusa. That's a great clip. There's so many good new clips on here, of just him totally lashing out for no reason. But
I remember you would talk shit about me when I was playing. He's like, man, these guys really fucking suck.
That was me. That was me. That was me that did that.
Are you sure it wasn't you?
No, it was him. It was me. And then he pointed it out, like because I said something like either this is a desync or they're because I was like either this is a desync or they're both playing really bad. And then you finally just like, I think these guys just fucking suck. And
oh my god.
That's still one of my favorite commentary moments for sure. Yeah, Patchy joined and his chickens kept crowing, and I was like, hey Patchy, how are your chickens doing, man? Yeah. And he was like, oh my god, can you hear that? No!
That was the only time he ever spoke.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Patchy did the art, by the way. I didn't even say it.
Yeah, Patchy
sure
did do the art. Shout out to Patchy. I love Patchy, dude. Patchy's great. Yeah, Patchy's the person who drew this lovely picture that you're seeing on the screen in the top left. But yeah, I think that might have been the moment I broke Patchy, because he never spoke again after I pointed out the chickens. Me and Squash were both laughing our asses off because we were like, what's with this dude who joined the channel? And you can just hear his chickens and he's not even talking. It was so funny. But yeah, and then, I mean, you know, after a while people kind of started to get like a little tired of the game. Time passed and stuff, and you know, most of my buddies kind of lost interest and started doing other stuff. You know, I don't really get to talk to them as much as I usually do, but like every once in a while we kind of get back together and just like hang out and play some games or whatever. But after that, I kept running the tournaments on my own because I was like, you know, Kirby falling asleep and voice, yeah. Poor Kirby. We would bully Kirby so much because he'd be asleep and we'd just start like screaming. Poor guy. Yeah, like, despite all my friends kind of leaving, which was like, you know, one of my biggest motivations for kind of sticking around,
I got ganked, sorry.
I kind of eventually, like, started to burn out a little bit, because I was running the tournaments every other week, and, like, the entrants were declining, and, like, things were getting kind of quieter, and I started getting kind of bummed out about it. My interests kind of started shifting a little, and, I believe... Who was it? Someone approached me. It might have been Dogi Sandwich. Very good friend of mine.
Yo, Dogi.
Yeah, shout out to Dogi. I actually think he was going to try and play in this, but he ended up not having time. Yeah, my buddy Dogi, who some of you might actually know if you either watched Melee way back in the day or watched some anime fighters. He's a pretty well-known commentator, and a good one at that. He's definitely one of my, I guess, like, people I look up to in terms of commentary, because he was one of my first exposures to commentary in general. So I definitely owe quite a bit of what I do now to him for, yeah. But, yeah, he had approached me and told me about CEO Otaku, and that he was buddies with Jabali, and so he kind of got me, like, a little bit of a hookup with Jabali, and I was like, you know, I think that's a good way for me to kind of go out with a bang. I host the first major LAN tournament for AOS2 and see how many people I can get to go. And so, yeah, we got a big group of people together,
A lot of
including...
people from this server, yeah.
Hispanic was there, Kirby was there, I was there, Squash was there, Jake was there, who was, some of you guys might know him, but if you look in role requests in the server, he's the one that has, like, the role request set up, because he used to be one of the admins in here. We had Hello,
one day
who
he
was,
said, alright, no more.
yeah. We had Hello, who was supposed to be here tonight, was also at CEO Otaku with us. Jakaro, who's not really around anymore. It was a wonderful experience. I wish that we got to stick around there longer, but it was a great, you know, we had a great tournament. Everyone, you know, came out of it pretty satisfied with the result of the custom robo games, yeah. Oh yeah, Zach came too. Shoutouts to Zach. Yeah, Jake's around still.
We had a lot of randos. Check
Yeah,
out the
we
game,
had a
too.
lot of, that was the impressive part, was there were a lot of people that we didn't know that showed up. There was also, I think it was like Cyrorin or something was his tag. I forget how you pronounce it. Cyrorin.
I kind of strong arm some people to flank too. I'm like, hey, you guys,
Yeah.
free entry. You guys want to come play the new game? Check out this game. AOS2. It's
I mean,
sick,
a lot of people stopped. There were a few really funny people who stopped by and played. There was that one dude who was holding his controller upside down during the tournament set on purpose.
Oh my god!
And
It's
he
like,
just
that
started. He was
wild.
just screaming. And then there was the poor guy that I 3-0'd in like 50 seconds or something
Oh,
like
I
that.
remember.
That was honestly the meanest thing I've ever done to anyone. And I felt so bad after, but it was
With
like,
Sora versus his Kyoko, you just like...
yeah. I just like, I literally just staggered him for 3 games, and I was just like, all right, go next. I need to get into the interesting matches. I'm warmed up. I gotta go.
You guys still have your pins that I gave you guys?
I do actually. I have it in my hand right now. Can,
So there was two things we had. Actually,
Yeah.
well, you could say because obviously you're the one doing the story, but
well, yeah, we made a couple pins for it that were made by Ikusei. Cute little Sigirian Sora pins. I can actually, my hair kind of looks like shit, but I can turn on my camera real quick, and I
I
can
can
show
get you
you
the
guys.
picture for it. I think if you want an actual picture of it, like.
Oh, I mean, if that's fine too, but I think this is faster.
Okay.
I'll turn on my
Okay,
camera
okay.
for a second.
Shit, we get to see him live.
Hi!
Where
Hello!
will he be?
What's up? These are the pins we got. They're pretty cute.
Boy, hey! I still have a lot of those pins, by the way. I have
They're
all
pretty
them
neat.
extras. There's no reason.
Do you still? You still have them all?
Yeah, I'm not gonna throw them away. There's no reason for me to throw them away. I'm gonna keep. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them, but I'm gonna keep them. So yeah, everyone who attended the tournament got one of each of those pins.
Yeah.
I commissioned. Actually, I kind of want to go on a random story here.
Yeah, go for it.
The way I got those pins was so cursed.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you panicking so much about the
okay,
process
so
of trying to get them.
You guys might not know this name, but I was one of my friends, Chaos Lizard, who
Yeah.
he's a Melty Blood person, and
Yeah.
quick funny piece of trivia: the Melty Blood owner for the Melty Blood community server owner, Truly Dave, is in this Discord. He's not the owner anymore.
Oh yeah, he is. He is.
So
No, that's
Well,
that's the
really
dude with the tomato picture, right? From like VeggieTales or whatever.
no, it's like some girl eating like noodles or something.
Oh, you're talking about Ridian. Yeah,
Right,
Ridian.
right.
They used to be
But
a top player in here.
But I didn't know that. I just knew he was in the server, and I spoke to him a couple times.
Yeah.
And he happened to be the Melty Blood owner, but not
Yeah.
anymore. I think he moved it. But my friend Chaos Lizard plays a ton of Melty Blood. And when I bought the pins, I commissioned from Ikuse. My address is kind of scuffed, so when I ordered the pins, I actually didn't order it to my house. I ordered it to Chaos Lizard's house. I told him if I can go pick it up. The problem was the fastest shipping possible, which was the most expensive shipping, was only a few hours before I had to leave.
Oh my god.
Like hours I had to leave. So
Oh.
when and Chaos Lizard is not that close to me, so when I ordered it to his house, I had to run to his house, say, hey, what's up, dude? Thanks for the pins. I'm going home now. And then we met each other at the CEO Otaku tournament. That was like, if I didn't get those pins, I would have been so like dead. I spent like, I think I spent like $100 on the shipping, or like $60. It was so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I do
Oh my
remember the
gosh.
process being really brutal. And Kirby also got there like really late in the day.
Don't even talk to me about that.
Kirby had to go through like 4 flights or something just to get
Like,
there. Oh my god,
flights.
Jam, don't post the Blue Rock
Seconds.
pictures, no! That's so funny. What's this anime character? It's even funnier because he's a VTuber avatar. That honestly sells it. It makes it so much better. Yeah, so somewhere along the way I became the server owner too, which I don't really know how that happened, but it eventually just kind of got passed down to me, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this, but you know.
I think he got past the Squash and then got passed to you.
Yes, that's true. Because Ilfie left and he gave it to Squash, and Squash eventually was just like, I don't even know why I have this, dude. Can you just like take it?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. So I was the
Hispanic.
owner of the server for a few months or something like that.
I was really sick Hispanic. You know that? Like, after I got off that plane, when I got into, I think it was Jake's car, I'm
Yeah.
like, Jake, can you pop your window down? I just stuck my head out for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm fucked up right now, man. This sucks. I literally did get halfway through the day for the tournament. Well, not the tournament, just the day.
Yeah. I'll still never forget the roach. That was in the
Oh, Squash.
Squash shrieked and I had a heart attack. He like
Squash.
shrieked in my ear, and I honestly think that I went deaf because of that moment. I think that was the moment that ruined me.
Remember the water?
It was also that trip was scary for me too, because I had gotten diagnosed with Crohn's disease like a few months before that.
That's what that was.
I was having Crohn's disease, and I was if you guys were around in like the 2019 or like no early 2020 I think right? Oh no, early 2019 like era of AOS 2. You probably remember that I was very sick very often. We did the final Axel tournament, and I think I already told this story, but I was so unbelievably sick the entire time that I was just like, I didn't eat anything the entire day, and I basically did what we're doing right now. I ran a massive tournament that was Swiss into single elim, and then I did a podcast after. And I was like, I was losing weight like horrifically fast, and I was like, I literally threw up 10 minutes before the tournament started. And I was like, do I even do this? Like, I sat there for like a minute, like, seriously pondering, what do I do? I am so fucked. And we ended up going through with it, and it worked out somehow.
It was
But
hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was.
That was definitely the most difficult experience I've had by
The
far.
room was chaotic too, though.
Yeah.
Right?
What's that?
The room was chaotic as well. There was a lot of other people around us for games.
the CEO talk.
Oh no! I was talking about I'm talking about the
I'm-
last Axel
I'm
tournament
mind,
before
yeah.
CEO talk. This was like 2 weeks
Oh,
before.
okay.
But so
he wasn't
at
throwing
this
up in
point,
the tournament.
after the tournament ended, this is like 2 weeks before CEO Taku. I was debating if I should go to the hospital, and then they get me back on the medication, and before I know it, I'm getting on a plane going to Florida. I don't know how I survived that weekend. Genuinely, I went through that whole weekend so unbelievably paranoid because I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it through this plane ride, never mind the tournament. I went through that entire tournament just like unbelievably sick and like borderline fighting for my life pretty much. And
All for AOS2.
but yeah, I had decided at, like 3 tournaments before that I was officially going to end my tournaments because I don't know how you made it through Shake Shack. Not sure. That shit was gross. It was so greasy, but it tasted so good. Oh God. Oh, it was so bad, but it was so good. But yeah, like that whole weekend was just. But a few tournaments before that, I had officially decided that I was gonna run one more online tournament, and then we were gonna go to see Otaku, and I was gonna analyze all of the sets, which might still be. I think the VOD might still be out there somewhere on the channel.
I checked.
Okay.
I checked. Yeah, we also have the podcast after that too.
Right.
Yep.
Which is funny because I also thought that was kind of the end as well. But it's obviously you're here.
But yeah, at that point, I was kind of like, well, you know, I think I'm good. Like I'm all burnt out. You know, like it's not really doing it for me anymore. I'm not enjoying myself the way I used to be, and all my friends aren't really around. So I dipped out around October 2020 or so, and then I don't even really remember what compelled me to come back. Like I don't think there was any particular reason or anything that I decided to come back.
Randomly, I think. Right?
That might have been it. I think Jam might have randomly asked me to commentate or something. I don't quite remember what my reasoning was to come back. But yeah, so I decided to join back, and I decided to start doing testing again for them because I had been doing testing for OJ for a while, and then in turn.
I think you came back specifically because they asked, like, about testing.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh no! The reason why I came back was because Blue Link. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had heard about Blue Link, and I had they asked me about something involving like testing OJ, like 100% orange juice specifically, and I was like, okay, like you know, which I actually, now that I think about it, I do remember how that even happened, but I remember that like some stuff had happened with some friends, and I was feeling kind of like isolated or whatever, and I was like, I need just like something to do, and so I was just like, I'll just join back the OJ testing. And Blue talked to me at one point. He messaged me, and he had asked me for help with something, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it, but I don't think I'm really that interested in like, I'll help you with testing, but I don't think I'm really that interested in doing balance stuff. And after I kind of like heard him out for a while, and he like told me about like what he was doing and how he felt about it, he kind of convinced me to like get back into it. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to test AOS 2, I have to come back to the AOS 2 server. And so I did. And, you know, from there, I kind of just picked up where I left off. Jam has been running, you know, the bi-weeklies in my stead, which, shoutouts to him. You know, he's been doing a great job with it. Crazy to see that you're already in, like, what, the 40s now? Or something like that?
I think we're at 36 right now.
Oh, okay, so we're
That's
almost
the next
there.
one.
That's actually...
Yep. No,
No, 34 was the last axle, so you've already done more than I have. Yeah,
Yep.
that's crazy. But yeah, so, I mean, then that pretty much brings me to where I am now. I mean, we did the teams tourney, we did this, we did, what was the previous one? It was like, what was the previous one we did a podcast for? Was that QR? I think that was QR, right?
I do not remember.
I
I
thought
think
it
it
was-
might have been QR2, but I'm not sure.
It might.
Right.
What about New Year's Bash? Was no, we didn't do that.
No, that was before I left.
Yeah, that was before.
Yeah,
way
that was a
before.
while ago.
I'm so out of touch with the.
That was
order.
like New Year's 2019, I think. That was very early
Yeah.
on.
Damn, you're right.
Yeah, that was hella early.
Yeah,
I'm
but
way off.
yeah. So I mean, you know, there's still more stuff to do, but and then you know, Blue finally decided like that he wanted to do balance stuff. He came to me and he was like, I think it's time that we start doing it. And I was like, all right, well, I'll figure out you know what we're gonna do, and now it's actually starting to happen. Yeah, I mean, it's only been a few years, but like, at least for me personally, I've gone through a journey and a half with this game. Which is why I wasn't very hesitant to come back and, like, you know, keep doing my thing. I also just, like, I love commentating. I don't even care what the game is. It could be a game that I don't even know how to play, aka Guilty Gear. I literally commentate Guilty Gear for my friends because they think it's funny that I don't know anything about the game. And I just completely half-ass it, and it's great. It's such a great time.
It is great.
I already have one of those, Cinnabon. It's called My Stream. I already play through
You
stuff
can watch
on
him
there.
play Ghost Trick.
Yeah, dude.
Hell
It's
yeah.
great. I recently played through all of the Danganronpa games as well. We played through the Ace Attorney trilogy. I have a bunch more games I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play the next Great Ace Attorney game after Ghost Trick as well. Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, it's been a bit of a journey for me. I know. I apologize to all of the newer people who are sitting here like, what the fuck are you talking about? But yeah, no, it's been a journey, and I've enjoyed my time here for what it's worth. You know, I made a lot of cool friends that I still have to this day, and you know, just enjoy being a goofball for you guys, and I hope that it's enjoyable enough. I mean, I assume it is, given how people are still here. I guess I went right somewhere, so you know, cool. And that concludes the Lalo supercut. All right, Jam, you promise.
Fuck. Okay. Fair enough. I was like,
You
maybe
promise.
he'll forget after his
Yeah.
speech.
But
You promise.
You
all right,
did.
Yeah. So I've been like collecting my thoughts because
Mhm.
I definitely don't have as much backstory about how I got into the. So I got 100% orange juice summer of 2017, and then I was playing that just like on my own a bit, and just like playing single player, playing online, whenever. I didn't really have anyone. I didn't have anyone to play with particularly, but I just like played it by myself. And then I saw like late 2017 or 2018 that like AOS2 was coming out on Steam, and there's going to be a character. It was like a version 2 Segura, I think.
Yeah,
that if you
Segura
bought the game, then you got yeah.
Oh,
You
no.
got her 900 OJ.
Oh
Like,
no.
cool, all right. So,
Oh no.
but then like I actually like once I like picked up the game, because I did like play it once I bought it, so
Yeah.
I thought it was like pretty cool, and then I was like, okay, so where can I like learn more about the game? So I went online and I like looked up AOS2 guides, and I found Frost's AOS2
Oh
guides.
boy. Yeah.
Oh, let's
So
go.
It was yeah, it was
Goes back
mainly
to
about like
Frost.
shielding stuff. But yeah, you can still look at if you like look up Frost AOS2, you can still find those guides.
Oh yeah.
More
I think
first.
they still might be in like the beginner help channel or something. His like really
Yeah.
old like Google Doc guides that he made for just like
Yeah.
super basic stuff like shielding and like shield breaking and like maximizing dash movement and Golf
Yeah.
saying he's in the same boat. Yeah, I feel like most because Golf, you were I feel like you got into it around the same time Jam and I did. Because Jam showed up around when I did, and I think Hydro did too. But yeah. Continue. There's more. There's more to the story. You're not done
There
yet.
is more. So I joined the Discord from that, and I just like, I mean, just like Saki and like no other character because I thought she was cute and she
Hell yeah.
was fun.
Base.
So I like professed how much I loved playing the character to like anyone that would listen at least for a bit.
Yeah.
And, I just wanted to learn like as much as I could about her. I asked like a ton of questions in the Saki channel like, back then about the character, and just like found out what I could. And
I remember you were such a sassy little kid, dude. It was so
I
funny.
was.
I remember going back into like the I think I was looking at like a conversation that I had with someone from like 2018 when I first joined. And I just remember at one point you said something to someone and I was like, holy shit, Jam, that's so mean. Man,
Yeah,
man's going for the throat.
Yeah, I was a little, definitely a little too.
You were a little
intense where
gremlin
I
for
needed
sure.
to be. I
It was
like,
really funny
"Fuck."
though.
Like even now, I was like looking back through my messages. Holy shit! What am I saying?
I mean, you know, it happens. We all regret the things that we've said years ago. I'm sure I could go. I mean, I could go back and look at like me complaining about like Sora in 2018, and I would absolutely cringe at it very hard. I've gone out of my way to avoid seeing my old Sora hate, especially with how much of like a Sora apologist I've become, because yeah, I definitely was. I definitely contributed to the 120% Sora nerfs for sure, and I'm not proud of that. I also contributed to Alte being the way she is in some ways, for better or worse. Well, definitely for worse, but you know, regardless, not like she really changed that much. But yeah.
I think I came in at like the peak of like Blue Rock, like talking about himself. Bad.
Then you literally joined like within an hour of me joining, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
And I had to like talk him off the cliff. I felt apparently, so I just like even as like a day 3 player, I was like, all right, man, you gotta like chill and like change his mind. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna be better now because of you. I was like, alright, sick.
And then he never played again.
And then he never played the game again, God bless.
Not only never play again, he never spoke again. Oh my god, speaking of... I forgot a small little piece. Jam, did you know that the first person I ever played AOS 2 with was RBJ?
I think so, yeah.
He played Nanako and I played Alte. I used to, for the longest time, I still had the replay of our first ever match of AOS 2. I think I showed it on stream at one point. It is the worst thing I've ever seen. I cannot believe how bad at this game I was when I first started playing. Because I had never even seen gameplay of Saguri or Sora either. I literally was like summoning SLP and SLP sparking full screen because I just did not know what it did. And I just like, we would both just like sit there and spam buttons, and then eventually when we got a bar of meter, we would both just neutral hyper, but his hit full screen and mine didn't, so he would just hit me because he was playing Nanako. And so I just kept losing, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And yeah, from there I started talking to some of the competitive players and stuff, and it hit it off from there. But anyway, this is not about me now. This is you.
Yeah,
Continue.
I was like theory crafting like my Saki combos in like the first week. It's like, damn, what are the combos for this character? It's like,
that's really funny.
Yeah. So I remember I joined like most of the weeklies and bi-weeklies that you ended up posting. I think I only missed 2 of them, and both of them were because I went to out-of-state tournaments for different games.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Jam went from being like the most devoted player to the TO. It was very interesting. Jam also had like a little character arc in his tournament performances too, because I still have I have the results Excel spreadsheet, and any of you can go and look at it. Jam would go 0-2 in like every single tournament, and he still kept playing. He would just get shit on by everyone.
Last place in literally like every tournament.
Yeah,
like, right,
you I think you have the most last places out of anyone in like history of AOS 2. Granted, it was a lot easier to get last place back then because it was double elim. We didn't start running Swiss until Axel 10. But
I didn't talk shit.
Jam and Helen did not talk shit at all. Jam barely spoke, period.
I kept to myself for the most
You would just get shit on and just take it like a man and move on with your life. And that was it.
I knew I was bad at the game.
Absolute king.
Let's just like work to get better at it.
Yeah. And then you did. And then I remember that was the first time that it was like your breakout tournament where I was just like, damn, Jam almost just beat golf. You like took golf to game 5 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy fuck, dude! Like, Jam's finally done it. Like, he finally figured it out. He something clicked in his head, and
it only took 30 tournaments.
Something like that, yeah. But I mean, and now you're out here getting top 8 in the big tournament and all that good stuff. I mean, despite like playing basically as much as I do
since the tournament.
You barely have more games played than I do, and you're still out here making waves. I mean, I guess I got top 8 in whatever tournament that I entered recently too. I got like 7th or something. So I guess that's not much different, but like even so, we're out here, Jam. We're out here. We're still making strides in 2021. All right, continue. There's still more Jam.
There's not much. But yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Once Ultimate happened, right? That was like the final tournament. I was like,
Yep.
okay. So this is gonna be like the last AOS 2 tournament. So I'm going to like, I was like debating like, I don't know if I should like run tournaments for the game because like I was interested in it previously, but like you were still running bi-weekly, so I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely
Like,
felt bad because I
yeah,
kind of like
tournaments at the same time.
monopolized them a little bit.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
like,
I
no
know
one
I was like
else-
talking about it on your stream like quite a
Yeah.
bit. Like
Yeah,
really,
you were.
like,
Oh yeah, because you were
hardcore.
always super active in my chat, and you were thinking about it a little bit.
Yep.
And I was like, well, hey, you might be able to do it sooner than you think. And I think I talked you into it actually
Yeah,
a little bit.
but yeah,
But yeah. Sorry, continue.
yeah. So yeah, I like came up with like everything for the tournament. So like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. And so yeah, I think it was like October or November I started the bi-weekly, so it wasn't like that far away from when you ended yours. And then
Yeah.
actually I think it was December. It was like early December. I like ran the first test one, and then I started like later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like late 2019. I'm pretty sure we started.
Right.
And then yeah, been hosting the bi-weeklies and hosting the quarantine report stuff is always fun, and then any other big tournaments that came along. And yeah.
Yeah, and you've been killing it, my man. And here we are now. We've got all the origin stories out on the table, ladies and gentlemen.
I got to run up my own podcast too. It was awful.
You ran your own podcast?
Well, no, I was because I was streaming and I did the podcast. Remember, or like the one that you and Fush.
Oh, that's
did.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was running the stream for that.
Isn't it stressful? You wouldn't think it would be stressful, but it's pretty stressful, man.
Well, because I also like did not attempt to prepare myself that much, and Kirby was like, "Oh no."
Well, I was a little upset. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset. I wasn't that mad because it was a little funny. It was honestly a little funny. but I remember I said to you, I was like, Jam, are you gonna like put the things like kind of how I said it? And you're like, fucking whatever. Like you didn't say that, but your response, it kind of like was like that. I'm like, all right, Jam, you got this, bro.
I was
and
like,
then,
I'll try, and then
and then it started. And I think I remember Lala was like, Kirby, just take over. Just fucking take over. Please. Jam wants you to take over. Just do it already. I'm like, alright, guys.
Because I
here we
know
go.
Jam, and I know the way he acts when he doesn't want to do something, and I hate him for it when he does it, but he does it, and you have to deal with it. And I will
That's
constantly...
another thing. I'm like the perfect person to like not be a TO because I don't like like trying to start these kinds of things.
You are not
It's
an
stressful.
initiator at all.
No.
It is stressful. I to some extent. The podcast, because people are listening to you, and if you don't, if you don't put the things right, and it's like it's just goofy. It's not bad, but yeah, I mean, who cares?
I wasn't even like stressed about it. It's just like how I am. I just don't like starting like conversations or like.
It's still so funny to me as a little story that I've told a few times before, and Jam will hate me for telling it as he always does. But there was this one time where Jam entered like one of my tournaments or something, and what happened? You like I think you got like top 3 or whatever it was, top 4 to get like one of the prizes. And I remember you just like came into my stream like almost a week after the tournament when I was just kind of like sitting there playing a game or whatever, and you were just like, hey, can you like message Playbuster? And I was like, what? Why? And he's like, so I can get my prize. And I was like, what do you mean? Why can't you message him? And he was like, I don't wanna.
What?
And I was like, what do you... Literally just go message him and just say, can I get blank? What I learned in boating school is blankety, blankety, blank. And he just wouldn't do it. And I was like...
I also hate like just DMing people,
Yeah.
so I was like, that's
was-
the worst possible situation. Like, I
It
have
was
to
just so
DM
funny to me.
Playbuster. It's like,
Yake just came to me for prize. I mean, sometimes he does that. Sometimes Yake is like a bit of a go-getter with them, but
He was,
it was
not
just-
so merciful for me.
it was so funny. Because I was just sitting there like, dude, literally just say anything. He will not care. Yake is like the most go-with-the-flow guy ever. Like,
You're all goofballs.
I have told him some of the dumbest things ever, and then he'll just be like, haha, that's really cool, man. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right. You damn right it is, Yake. He's a very, very, very patient and tolerant person. I just go yo, and he goes yo. Yeah, you just you just you know, you just gotta do it. But it was just really funny to me. I'm with Jam for this one. I see the whole chat relating, and honestly, I'm a little concerned for all of you.
Do not relate to me.
Do you guys just ever get any of your prizes? Honestly, if you guys don't get the prizes because you're not gonna be you're not gonna get your monthly social interaction in, then I don't know what to say. Honestly, so be it. It's not on me.
I just messaged Glitch right after this. I'm like, hey, you want your prize now? Oh, the podcast started. I'll give it to you afterwards. I'm kind of like a go-getter in my own.
What is that? Yeah, you're definitely. No, I know, but it's like a. What game is it?
I think it's for OJ. It's like a fruit bat fact, like a.
Is that for him winning?
Yake, I would assume.
Oh, War of the Human Tanks. That's cool. I think I ever missed one from Kirby while I was still too shy. I just didn't feel like burdening.
Fuck, I have to DM.
It really?
My prize, no!
Are you sure that you ate?
You know what the funniest thing to me is so for Hypernova there were 32 entrants and Kirby gave out a copy of AOS 2 to every single entrant. Like he gave out a key to every single person, and I'm pretty sure to this day like more than half of them still have never been used.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure if I went back far enough in my DMs I'd still have my key because I just like didn't have anyone to give it to, and Squash was also sitting there like, what do I do with this, man? Like I remember he messaged me like a day after and he was like, hey, you have one of those like AOS 2 keys, right? And I was like, yeah, why, what's up? And he's like, what did you like do with it? And I was like,
oh my gosh.
I was like, I don't know. I haven't really used it.
I was hoping you guys would at least give it away to someone. I was like, that was kind of.
There was no one to give it away to, dude. Everyone already had it.
Honestly, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you took the code and you posted it in like a random Discord, I think I'd be 1% happier. Like at least. I'd at least be. I have all of those 32 codes. I could be an asshole and be like, all right, guys, these codes are my codes again. But,
you could just do that.
Who cares?
But
I mean, well, what if
Carrie spends a lot of money on them?
What if someone's like, huh? I'm gonna give my friend this game now.
Someone's gonna be like, all right.
Yeah, you never know.
But yeah, I remember like I think it was like Sonic, Squash, and like Nyx all messaged me afterwards, and they were like, "Did you like do anything with your key?" And I was like, "No, not yet. Why?" And they were like, "I just like don't know what to do with it." And I was like, "I don't know, give it to a friend or something." And they were like, all my friends like already played the game or like don't care.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
everyone
I don't know, just go post it somewhere. And they were like,
a lot of them did.
I don't really want to do that. And I was like, okay, well, sure. Well, you can figure that out then.
There's still a lot that aren't used, but a decent amount really did were given away.
Yeah.
To who I don't obviously know. I had to ask the people who gave them, but.
Remember Hypernovix activated King Crimson? Yeah, that was the worst set of AOS 2 I've ever played, for sure. Yuggler lagged me out of my first round of Hypernova, and then I had to play, like, Ansem, I believe it was, in Losers, which was Nath Nanako, and it was way closer than it should have been, because I was, like... I couldn't, like, move, because I was so out of it after that set with Yuggler, and then I lost to Soraguri's Sora in, like, 5 minutes, and I was like, cool, alright, time to go watch the tournament, I think I'm done. That's that. But yeah, that was still like, that was one of the funniest things to me, because so many people came to me afterward, and they was like, yo, what's the deal with this? And I was like, oh, figure it out, dude. Yeah, that VC was huge during that tournament. That was actually massive. But yeah. Do you guys have anything else that you guys want to talk about before we kind of wrap up? I mean, I think we've been here long enough, because this was pretty much already almost the length of the other podcast at this point.
Yeah. Kirby?
Anything from you, Kirby?
Well, I was waiting for. I thought someone was gonna post something. You said you were asking questions. You wanted to ask questions.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone has any more questions other than what we've already talked about. But
well, the only segue I was gonna like maybe say was that for me personally, the CO Otaku tournament was I think after that, even though it was obviously much smaller than a lot of other in-person tournaments, I still felt like we had our, like our little thing going on there, and if we could pull that off, that's kind of what started the Bullet Station idea.
Mhm.
And I definitely think if we could have 16 people meet across the world, well, I mean, some people probably came from other countries, but at least across the United States, and we had a tournament in person, I do feel like this Discord thing that I'm trying to do, this idea I'm trying to do, I mean, to some extent, I assume you wouldn't be, trying to balance the game on yourself if you didn't have any, like, mojo left with the game. Obviously you do, so.
I mean,
yeah.
it comes and goes for me nowadays. I kind of when I get a little spark of interest, I'll come around and I'll do something, and then usually by that point I'm like, all right, yeah, I think I'm good for now, and then I kind of just like dip out for a while. I'll help out Jam with like the tourneys, commentate a little bit, and then I just kind of do that until I feel something again.
Yeah, I think on my end, I think I got nothing else to say. I think this is a great tournament. Really good games, really good sets. Like, I actually kind of got glued to the screen a bit. Some of those games are really intense.
Dude, I know. They're so scary.
It's been a while since I've actually viewed a full tournament. I've always checked them here and there, but recently, this obviously this is a bigger event. So I believe in my project, and I will try my best to complete it and not let anyone down and not let myself down. I have a lot of faith in this.
Yeah, best of luck, man. I hope everything works out with both of your projects, really, for that matter.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
I hope everything in your life works out for that matter.
Honestly, yeah, I know you've got a lot going on, man.
Thanks, bro. 5 more points than Lalo. You got him, man. You beat him.
Damn. I don't even know what that means, but I feel defeated.
Nothing. I'm just making something up.
I don't even know what that means, and I still feel insulted and defeated. Like, what the
the
hell? What just happened?
Lala wished me well-being in Jam wished me well-being in everything, and you only wish me well-being on my projects. That's not cool.
I'm sure he means both.
I know. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I don't know,
man.
man.
Fuck me, I guess. Sorry for being concerned.
I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ, man! And then he berates me, the bitch. Oh, no respect.
So I will say, for tournament stuff, for me personally, I don't hate the game. So my passion is still here for the game in order to keep
tough guy over here,
keep participating with the community, keep running tournaments. I'm gonna, at least for the time being, I'm gonna to be keeping going with it. In case anyone was wondering, like, oh no, fucking tournaments are gonna end. We're still going.
We actually gotta wrap this up soon. I'm on the last song of my playlist, dude.
Shit. Oh no.
This is all I got. After this, it's over. We got 5 minutes and 16 seconds left. Oh. But
we're tired anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good stopping point. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what you do in the future, Jam. When's the next tournament info gonna be? It's gonna be in the same place as mine all was, in tourney announcements. Jam, I think Jam already announced his next tournament, didn't he?
I have not. Well, technically I have, but I postponed it. So.
Yeah, enjoy the 8-hour and 40-minute VOD, Victor Ghost. Good to see you again, man.
Hell yeah, let's go, Vic. Yeah.
Your name used to be like Vic Taco Bell or something, base. But yeah. You said the tournament was gonna be on like the 11th of September or something like that. So a few weeks.
So yeah, we got like 4 weeks of time to just chill. So.
Yep.
Because I'm having stuff done to my house in 2 weeks, so I can't be here for it.
I see. Well, good luck with that. And yeah, thank you guys all very much for watching. This is actually the most viewers that we've ever had for a full podcast, I think. We still have 35 people watching despite how long we've been going for. I think we have had at least this many people in the stream since I started. Like, literally within the first 10 minutes, there were already 40 viewers, and it has just stayed like that. It's gotta be the longest I've watched a stream on this channel. This isn't even the longest stream. Christmas Chaos was like 11 hours or something like that.
Oh, dude, that was so fun.
Christmas Chaos was definitely up there as one of the most.
We were tired as hell after that.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember. I was sat there for the whole fucking 11 hours watching.
Oh yeah, I did too, except I was actually yelling my fucking head off like I am right now for the whole thing too. But yeah. Alright guys. Thank you very much again for coming out. Thanks to everyone for watching. congrats to Glitch for winning. If you won something, then message the person that is responsible for giving it to you. If it says FBF, message Flaybuster. If it says me, message me. If it says Kirby, message Kirby. I think that's just for Glitch. I mean, I guess you could also, yeah, I don't know.
You can just message Kirby if you want to as well.
Yeah,
if you want to say hi.
Yeah,
Just
message
encourage him.
Kirby, just for the hell of it, even if you didn't win anything. Yeah, sure.
Alright.
I don't know. I
Tell
would
them how
recommend
cool
that.
Bull Station is or something.
But yeah, I appreciate it very much. I'm glad things that went well, all things considered. You know, today was a pretty nutty day. We had a lot of shit going on with Smurfs and Papa Smurf and you know the
Papa Smurf massacre
scoreboard
and
and whatever the hell else happened today.
The mass ban wave on everyone.
Thank you for the entertainment. I'm glad that I could entertain. Yeah. Well, I guess this is it then.
And
Happy
thanks to
anniversary to
Shout out
AOS2.
Neon for coming out.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
appreciate
Neon.
everybody.
Shout out to AOS2. And yeah, I will see all of you later. Take care and so long. Say
See you
goodbye.
guys.
Jam, say bye now.
The end.
Alright, later everyone. Take care. Have a good one.
Peace out, guys. Peace out.